This next guy I'm going to bring up, I just had the pleasure of working with in Plymouth, where we both got adequate numbers of cesium and strontium-90 into our bloodstreams. We worked over at the 1620 in Plymouth, for any of you alcoholics down here there that recognize it. He's a great comic. He's all over the place. But guess where he is right now? Right here, the Cable Comedy Show. Please, a nice round of applause, Mr. Tom Gilmore.
Thanks, you guys. Oh, thank you. Boy, this is nice. I'm not used to this. I'm from Somerville, so this is a big step up for me. Yeah, I've lived in Somerville 4 years, so I feel I've paid my debt to society now. I make the Somerville viewers feel at home. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. I knew it was a bad neighborhood. When I moved in, the guy driving the welcome wagon gave me the finger. It's June. So far, we've had like 9 rapes, 5 murders. This is just in my building now, and I can't close the window without hitting somebody's fingers, There's crime everywhere, but my mother's one of these people. If she watches the news on TV, she blames the newscaster. The guy reading of the story, full of sad news, the stories she doesn't like. Remember a little while ago, there had a couple of plane crashes right in a row? My mother looked at me and said, how come they never report any of the good news? What's the guy supposed to say? Good evening, in the news tonight, one plane has landed safely at Logan Airport. None of those 300 people were injured, and the FAA has not been notified. We hope you're happy, Mrs. Gilmore. And it's her own fault. She gets her news from stupid things. My mother buys the National Enquirer. Now, they tell you obvious news in there, but they make everything sound like they're revealing some big secret. That's what she likes. Picked it up for a little while ago. Big front page headlines. Evidently, Liberace was a homosexual. What a rude awakening that was. He kept it so well hidden all those years, didn't he? All these self-help things in the Enquirer, too, It's always like how to lose 100 pounds in 3 days, or how to keep from going bald. I saw a good one the other day, how to stop procrastinating and get things organized. That's what I need. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I don't read as much as I should. I watch too much TV, I think basically because I don't have any real hobbies. Right? Like, I have friends who have dangerous hobbies. I know guys who do stuff like skydiving, hot air ballooning. I'm not interested in any of those things, basically because I'm not tired of living yet, And they get real defensive if you criticize them. You ever do that? You go like, hey, Steve, isn't that a little bit dangerous? I go, Tommy, you can get killed just driving to work, pal. Yeah, but there's a difference. At least if I get killed driving down here some night. On TV, they'll say something like, life of a young Massachusetts man came to a tragic end this evening. They failed to negotiate a curve, lost control of his vehicle on the Mass Pike. Makes me sound pretty good. Right? Sounds like, had I lived, I would have been a cool guy. I know if I get killed up in a hot air balloon, my friends will all be sitting around. Somebody will come in and go, hey, did you guys hear how Tom Gilmore died? No, what happened? I was up in a balloon. Everybody will go, what a dumb shit. Not quite the want to be remembered, My mother will be sitting home watching the news again. Dan Rather will come on. Another dumb shit died tonight. We hope you're happy, Mrs. Gilmore. Whenever anybody dies, my mother has to make some comment about it, too, These things always happen in threes. Yep. Thanks for cheering us up, Ma. Ever notice if something good happens to somebody else, it's always for the same reason? He was in the right place at the right time. What the hell is this place? I'll go hang around, All these rules I never understood. Remember when parents wanted to talk about something right in front of you without you knowing what it was? They'd spell words out. Do you think T-O-M should be allowed to have some C-A-N-D-Y? He finishes all of his D-I-N-N-E-R. They did that up at the old enough to say, Mother, must you always treat me like a complete D-I-P-S-H-I-T? 27 years old, I can spell now, That was your reward, too, candy or dessert. Usually only if you ate all your dinner. I never ate all my dinner. I always thought it was too tough. My mother tried to blame me. She'd say, that's just because you're too lazy to chew. That's tomato soup. What the hell, I wasn't helpful at supper time, I'll admit that. It's like, all right, tell your father his supper's ready. Okay. Hey, Dad, your supper's ready! Well, I could have done that. Why didn't you? Pretty basic. Just scream your goddamn lungs out, Ma. That hate it when you were loud, too, right? Will you be quiet? I can't hear myself think. No, nobody can. You don't hear yourself think. You just think you don't hear it. They're two separate things. You don't go, hey, do you smell what I just heard? Thank you. My father had weird things. when he got mad, he'd say weird things like, "You better straighten up and fly right." What? You heard me. I'll knock you in the next week. Oh, could you make it Thursday? I'm busy at the beginning of the week. You better change your tune pretty quick. Request lines are open, Dad. My mother was more challenging when she got mad. "If you think I'm going to put up with this another minute, you just try it." "Okay." "I've had just about enough of your nonsense." "Oh, just about enough? Can you take a little bit more, Ma?" Sometimes they get mad. They'd both disown you. Remember that? "Do you know what your son did today?" "He's no son of mine." "Come on, Dad. I don't think you and Ma want to have that argument again, do you?" Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Tom Gilmore. Big bad Tommy Gilmore. Put her up here, Tom.
Not supposed
Up
to
high.
sit on these, huh?
Yeah, sit on the mic. The audio person's going, "Ah!"
Yeah,
You just know what I heard?
I shouldn't have had those onions.
How you been? You're living down the Cape now, aren't you, huh?
Well, I'm living the life of Riley, whoever he is. And he's living my life.
He left his house at the Cape and you're moved in?
That's right.
Is that it? Where on the Cape?
I don't know. There might be snipers in this crowd. I don't know. I don't know if we
right.
want to divulge the exact location. I'm in Falmouth.
Falmouth?
Yeah.
Which?
Ooh, a hush went over the crowd. Which is very nice.
Do you like it down there?
Yeah, it's actually, no people outside, throwing rocks at my window and everything.
Was that usually a problem? You lived in Somerville for a while, right?
Yeah.
By the way, one of the 10 finest comedians in Somerville, but
I just squeaked up to number 10 this year.
that's the WBA ratings, isn't it?
That's right. The guy who runs the sub shop was 10, but he got demoted because he was stabbed and bled to death. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a little too violent, I guess, huh? Not for you.
Not for me, Tommy. You're moving right up next to Mother Teresa as far as I'm concerned.
And Lou Albano.
Lou. Yeah, that's right.
They're kind of two peas in a pod.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you're not from Somerville originally. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up on the South Shore in fabulous Middleborough.
Middleborough. Young Catholic boy in Middleborough.
That's right. I
Yeah.
was Irish Catholic. I had to go to these things after school. I had to go to Catholic CCD classes. Did you go to these things? You remember that?
Oh, a lot of tortured people out here, yeah.
Kind of like a Sunday school, except they had them on Tuesdays. And they taught you the different types of sins that you would like to be committing. That's what I mean. There were two kinds. They had
What
venial
kind?
sins.
Venial, I love venial.
Venial sins were small sins, though, right? They said you could die with a few venial sins. You might still be able to get in heaven anyway, maybe. Sort of like plea bargaining or something. If you died with a mortal sin, you were going straight to hell.
Right to hell.
The thing that bothered me as a kid, a mortal sin could be anything. It could be murder, rape, arson, through taking the Lord's name in vain. Have a big gap there, don't you think? There's so many ways to take the Lord's name in vain. You listen to people when they get mad. Some people just go, Jesus Christ. Other people include the middle initial. Jesus H. Christ. What's his middle name? Howie? My father brought the whole family into the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus, Mary, and Jews. That's got to be an express to hell. Then, of course, they had original sin. Now, I like to think of myself as a creative guy.
Oh, you are.
I figured I did a few things that were pretty original. I thought I'd die, I'd get to heaven, God would go, hey, Tommy, remember that one thing you did? That was pretty original. We never saw anything like that before. Come on in here, for Christ's sake, you hot shit. It wasn't like that at all, though.
No.
That's why if you're a Catholic, your mother wanted to make sure you were baptized. Because when you were baptized, that took away original sin. It took away all your past sins. The thing that bothered me, they had us baptized at like 3 weeks old. I didn't have a chance to do anything. I just figured if this is going to take effect, let's save it till like 75, 80 years old. I can't drink anymore, the liver's shot, and I can't get it up. I guess you could hit me with that holy water now.
Tom Gilmore, ladies and gentlemen.